All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect brethren out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash, and to the 1/3 as well, which consists of the women and children who are going to be saved through childbearing, or are going to be saved through the men, and then the children who are going to be saved. That's going to be a part of the 1/3. All right, and shalom to the brothers doing this work and laboring and not wavering. And this is the book. This is an article that I wanted to get into, entitled "An a uniquely American Starbucks scandal," because there was a scandal, going on in Philadelphia, where two Jakes, were put out of a Starbucks. I'm just gonna read into it. It says the coffee chain is the coffee chain, which is Starbucks. It says is initiating racial bias training for its employees in the U.S., but so far not for those around the globe. Starbucks is embroiled in one of its largest scandals to date after two black men were arrested for trespassing in a Philadelphia coffee shop when they were awaiting for a business associate without immediately making a purchase. So they were trying to go to the bathroom or whatever. It was the story. They didn't make a purchase, so they were kicked out. Two Negroes, It says a video of the incident, which shows police handcuffing 23 years old Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson, quickly went viral, and a protest was organized. Starbucks issued an apology for what is called reprehensible outcome, announcing that more than 8,000 U.S. stores will be closing next month for a day of racial bias training. So, a lot lately, they're gonna start pushing this racial thing, the race war spirit. It's gonna come back, class war. You had the H&M clothing store. Now you got the Starbucks coffee shop. So the Jake was trying to say that the so-called white man could sit in a coffee shop and not buy anything, use the bathroom and stuff without buying anything. But if the so-called black man, if he went to the bathroom and he didn't buy anything, he was just what the so-called white man considers loitering, then he has to leave. And if he don't leave and makes a fuss, then he's going to get locked up and handcuffed, which seems to be what happened. But that's just typical practice at businesses. You typically have to buy something. Buy something if you're going to be in the shop, or if you're going to use the bathroom. You probably got to buy some coffee, buy a honey bun or whatever. It's the case. But Jake tries to go far and beyond. I'm gonna read a little more. It says, but when I asked Starbucks if racial bias training were being considered for any of their global markets, a spokesperson told me the company is focusing on the U.S. training first, adding, once completed, training materials will be shared with teams around the world as we work to understand how these important issues impact us on a global scale. Company-wide trainings are currently being set in motion. And this is the book, Matthew 5:25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with them. So that's meaning if you're your adversary, if you're getting hemmed up, if you're in a situation where the police can potentially take you to jail, or you can, get locked up, be in deeper captivity in the jail cell, rather than, you can avoid that situation. That's what the scripture's talking about. Agree with your adversary quickly when someone has charges coming up against you, and you could see that it could be avoided, you should do that. And what I mean is you can talk it in a certain way where it's not you're not coming up against a so-called police officer like cussing or so-called cursing and raising your voice instead of talking calmly and trying to and salute and seeing a solution and talking civilized with the cop. A lot of times you get away with you can get away out of that situation. That's what it means. You know how Jake gets pulled over, and with men of the Lord, us, we just agree with the for the most part we agree with the cop, and then he takes it easy on us because he see it, we're just not like another nigga. And I'm gonna read on. It says, "Least at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison, So, Jake always have to try to plead his case or make a big scene, and make it racial and all these things where he could have easily just bought something or told his people, let's go to a different store or whatever, because that could have easily been avoided, but Jake, wants to be a star and be a famous and film and put it on Facebook Live. That's just what niggas do, man. Where it could have been it could have easily been resolved, that situation, And I believe it was some Hermetic nigga from he believes in Hermetic science or whatever who was recording. Now you had people saying they wanted their Starbucks reparations because they heard they were racist. I'm gonna read on. It says, in some ways, the company's decision to limit its discussion about racial bias to U.S. stores makes sense. After all, the incident took place at a U.S. location, was initiated by U.S.-based staff, and involved U.S. police. But the coffee chain has tens of thousands of locations in at least 75 countries. In London, there are at least 200 locations. As I write this, I'm within walking distance of at least 12, and any of them could probably benefit from racial bias training. Taking my city as a test case, I asked Londoners, couldn't what happened in Philadelphia just as easily have occurred in the UK? Like, it's a big deal, but it's really not a big deal. And it's going to go into the statistics. It's a pretty lengthy article, but I got the bulk of what happened, And now they're trying to say, we need racial training, and then Starbucks is typically a liberal coffee shop. A lot of hipsters go there, a lot of old people, a lot of Jakes, a lot of niggas who want to be like Esau and they go to college and just keeping it real. That's what it is, man, And I got this in the book of Romans 12. In the book of Romans 12 and 18. 12 and 18 says if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So if it be possible, live peaceably with all men, because I brought that out more to bring this, to say this, that, in St. Louis, when I lived in Missouri, I would go to Starbucks a lot. I would go on Starbucks. I would go into Starbucks for many occasions. I would go for runs, and I would stop into a Starbucks. Hey, and sometimes I didn't have data on my phone, and I would just sit in the Starbucks and get on the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? And with the tension going on in St. Louis, is a different spirit where, hey, it was a Starbucks. I was never bothered. I was never asked I gotta buy something. I just, I was on my phone and with my headphones in, not bothering nobody, and I've been doing that for 4 years uh, going on. When I was lived in Missouri, Starbucks, I would go for a run, go in there, chill. I would chill inside, I would chill outside if it's hot. And hey, I would sometimes if I would drive my car to Starbucks or walk to Starbucks and just get on the Wi-Fi and chill. Sometimes I buy coffee, sometimes I won't. You know, I would say this: even they would have people, Jakes who are bouncing house to living on the streets or they not stable. Hey, Jake could go in there. They might have a laptop and they just go in there and get on the Wi-Fi, man. It'd be fairly peaceful for the most part. You got people that go there to have gatherings and little meetings and stuff like that. They grab a coffee and handle their business. That was just the spirit where I was at. But Jake, wants to go farther go beyond the beyond the pine, and make it seem like make a big show about it, cause they want the acceptance of Esau, man. So hey, you supposed to live peaceably with all men. Handle what you got to do, and if they tell you, gotta handle what you got to take care of it. Hey, if they tell you, yo, you need to do this if you want to stay in this establishment, do so, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll cause yourself a lot of less stress if you do that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, hey, even though Starbucks, the symbol is wicked, what they stand for, is wicked. They still, I haven't had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is the book of Jeremiah 2:33. It says, "Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways?" Right. So you Negro, Latinos, Native Americans who go to these different spots and think you equal to the so-called white man, you're not, man. You're not in the right spirit. You're not equal to this man. You think you're sitting, you nigga woman who wear Uggs and spandex and drink Starbucks like you like a Caucasian. No, man. They still look down upon you like they're better than you. You know what I'm saying? If you go there, hey, because they got some a decent amount of quality stuff, and it's a place where it's quiet. You just go there just because it's Starbucks, because white bitches go there and crackers. So you're trimming your way to seek the poor, and you trying to compare yourself to Esau. Esau got privilege. He can go in places, use the bathroom, and come out. He got a pass, man. He's the devil. He ruled his world. Negroes, they gotta walk circumspectly, because we're an enemy. We're an enemy to the society. You know what I'm saying? So everything that Esau can do, you can't do, and that's Jake's problem, because he think things have progressed, man. It really hasn't. It either is the same or it got worse, you know. And with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and Shalom.